What's up, guys? This is Lethal Merc coming at you with a Total War 1212 AD replay. This is a battle between France and England, which, yeah, I get. They're two pretty overused factions in this mod, but you know it was a fun match. It was pretty close. So we'll go over the armies right now. Let's see, we'll go over my army first, sorry. I brought 4 units of the Heavy Voltigeurs, if that's even how you pronounce it. They're pretty solid. 3 units of Foot Knightly Retinue, there they are, and I went with the Count of Perche. Let's see, I think that was all for my infantry. I brought 2 units of the Crossbow Militia. Let's do slow motion because this does start pretty fast. I brought, here's the Count of Perche. I brought 3 units of Mounted Sergeants, and where are they? 2 units of the Knightly Retinue. Those guys are also the Count of Perche. And I think that's it for my army. Let's go over my ally's army here. He brought 3 units of the Heavy Crossbowmen. High period. Oh yes, forgot about the rules for this battle. We were limited to the to tier 2 max, so you know, no late period units really, no foot men at arms, none of the OP units that you see so often in these armies. So anyways, we'll go back to this. He brought 2 units of the Knightly Retinue. He brought 1, 2, 3, 4 units of sergeants and 4 units of spear sergeants. And here is the French king. Where is he? Oh, that's pretty cool. Late period. Well, I mean, I guess the general doesn't count towards the normal unit discrepancy. Okay, and then the 2 English armies we faced, they had peasants, 1 unit of peasants, 3 units of archers. 2 of them are the archer sergeants, 1 of them is the yeoman archers. They brought 4 units of the bill sergeants and 3 units of Foot Knightly Retinue, and the other army with the Earl of Norfolk had 3 units of archer sergeants, 2 units of Foot Knightly Retinue, 2 units of sergeants. Oh, and then the Earl of Norfolk also had another 2 units of Foot Knightly Retinue. He had 1 unit of Knightly Retinue over here. 2 units, sorry, 3. Nope, that would be the Earl of Norfolk. And he also 1, 2, 3 units. I need to watch me some Sesame Street, sorry. And then 1 unit of Mounted Sergeants, that was from the Earl of Norfolk as well, and another unit of Knightly Retinue. So, oh, I forgot. And then the English king brought 2 units of English nobles. These guys are pretty sweet, and we'll see how they do in this battle. And here's the English king. I personally, they look the same, the English king and the French king, but to be honest, I like the look of the blue a little bit better. So this battle starts off doing some skirmishing between my crossbows and his bowmen. I moved my cav up on this side, and we'll see, there's a little standoff that goes on right here, and we'll see how that turns out. So playing a little bit of cat and mouse with his peasants and the crossbow militia right here. They're gonna get a pretty good shot off. Let's see if we can. Oh, they get shredded. They lost 52 from 1 volley there, and then another 19. Oh, I'm not good at math. Yes, 19 from the next volley. And then here I go running my crossbow militia back, and then over here we have my ally moving up his army, going with a little slant, kind of caddied to my line, so setting us up for a flank. But the enemy has all of his bill sergeants on one side, and they are very good at holding the line. So we'll see how that turns out. The main line is composed of the knightly retinue from the English king, and then the Earl of Norfolk has his sergeants in the woods over here. The Earl also has his archer sergeants back there, and then knightly retinue here at the back of the line. This cav standoff goes for a while, but once they finally clash, it is pretty epic. Look how long this line of cav is. Wow, that's pretty cool. Anyways, back to this little skirmish here. He's still using those peasants as meat shields, which, I mean, I guess I understand, but he's not being super aggressive with the rest of his army, so it was really just kind of a waste. I know they're very cheap, but still it's kind of a waste of units. Like, even these heavy crossbowmen will absolutely destroy the peasants. Even my crossbow militia would destroy the peasants. Oh, and we missed a cav charge, I'm sorry. We missed a cav charge from the English nobles into the spear sergeants, which wasn't the greatest idea. And the knightly retinue is now chasing down the English nobles. And this unit of English nobles is already breaking. They're breaking, and I'm charging in my knightly retinue over here, but then I decided to run them back to the line. So it looks like my ally, he pursued those English nobles for a while, but they are down to 16 and 12 men apiece. So they did return to the fight after breaking, but they're not going to last that much longer. And it looks like that unit of peasants is actually shattered and finally broken. Pretty soon I'm going to start moving up my army, and we'll see how that turns out. That will begin the general engagement. I did forget, actually, about this unit of foot knightly retinue over here, and they turn out to be key. Or do they? We'll see. And then my general is still sitting back here. Gosh, I love the Count of Perche. I think that's just so cool. The arrows and the white and red just looks so good. But anyways, still sitting here, skirmishing with my crossbows. They are getting chopped up though, so we will need to move into action here pretty soon. My ally here is just kind of sitting, which isn't the greatest, but he is also skirmishing. What he did do, he moved back. He had all of his forces up here, and he moved them back a little ways. Now, we completely outnumber the enemy. Well, maybe not completely, but we outnumber them, and here I go moving up my forces. Now, my forces are a little bit more elite. Not more elite than the enemy, but more elite than my ally, and my ally definitely outnumbers them. So what he could do is spread out his line along here and be able to flank those bill sergeants, because they're pretty good at holding the line. But as you see, the foot knightly retinue did charge in here, and my ally, did I say foot knightly retinue? I meant knightly retinue, just regular knightly retinue. They are mounted there, not on foot. My ally tried to counter with his cav, but wasn't that successful. And then he got a charge into my heavy volgeurs, but they are pretty good against cav. So this is going to end badly for him, which is good for me. I honestly forgot that this even happened, but I think my men do win this engagement, and here we go, the clash of the sergeants and the heavy volgeurs, I think that's it, in this thick forested area. Yeah, get him. Alright, luckily sergeants don't have the great... Oh, and here's that cav charge, guys. Here we go. Huge cav battle. This battle right here will decide the rest of the fight. So, and in 12-12, as I'm sure you know, the cav battles, when they get stuck in melee, they go on forever. So that's okay. And already, back over here, my heavy volgeurs are breaking. I hope I'm saying that right. Are breaking the sergeants. Sorry. But he is charging in his unit of foot knightly retinue, and I try to countercharge with my heavy Volgieres. And this forested fight is becoming quite epic. Oh, there the trees are on fire with that little glitch that goes on with this game. And then over here, I charge in my foot knightly retinue into his unit of foot knightly retinue, and then I flanked his unit of foot knightly retinue here with my unit of foot knightly retinue, and using my heavy Volgieres here to hold that line. So this this little skirmish right here turns out pretty well for me. The Earl of Norfolk is losing his men, but he does have a lot in reserve, so this battle can still go a lot of ways. And oh yes, I charged in my general over here. I needed to help out this unit of mounted sergeants because the sergeants stand no chance against the knightly retinue cav. Oh, I never noticed that they had axes too. That's pretty cool. I thought they just had swords and maces, but you know, I don't even see any swords. Looks like the mounted sergeants always hang on to their spears, which is odd because they're melee cavalry. You'd think that the shot cavalry would be the ones that hold on to their spears. But oh yes, the Count of Perche, they have swords. But anyways, let's see how this fight is going over here. One of my heavy Volgieres are wavering, but so are the sergeants over here, which is fitting. You know, they really can't stand up to the foot knightly retinue. Let's check on the right flank over here. How's this fight going? This unit of heavy Volgieres they are shaken. So I'm going to run them in to reinforce this unit of foot knightly retinue, and see if we can break through this unit of foot knightly retinue, and then we can have a general engagement along the line and hopefully break his troops from there. My troops are going to end up clumping up over here. That's just kind of the way that the polearm units work. You know, they're very slow moving and they get hung up even on one or two units. But luckily, we are finally... Well, no, they're still wavering. Never mind. We should be breaking their sergeants, which we do. We break their sergeants, and I'm using my crossbow militia back here to try and get a good angle on the cav over here. But what I did, I wound up targeting their archers, because those archers were doing quite a bit of damage to me. And this is when my ally breaks off his cav from that engagement and charges the archers and takes them out. And this is the beginning of the end of the cav engagement because we are breaking their mounted sergeants over here. They do still have a couple units of foot knightly retinue, and they last quite a while in battle, especially against lower tier units like mounted sergeants. So let's go back into the forest here. Let's venture into this conflict. And these two units of bill sergeants are breaking. They were flanked and surrounded. But unfortunately, my heavy Volgieres that were in that fight as well, they broke. I do believe they returned to the battle, but you know, once a unit breaks, once they're shattered, they're never the same. Their morale is never the same in battle. They really need support from that point on if they do come back and engage the enemy. So this is going pretty well for us on both flanks. The center is really the only place where the English are doing quite well against us. Those bill sergeants are fighting the spear sergeants over here. And what else is going on? The foot knightly retinue are actually broke my foot knightly retinue. So did not see that coming. That is a tough loss there. And this unit of foot knightly retinue, once again, are breaking. We surrounded this unit, but they kept fighting. They did not stop. This unit of foot knightly retinue for the English, you know, they keep fighting, which, you know, sometimes units they're able to hold out like that. And it looks like they only have one unit left over here, and they are wavering. One unit of cav left, and Once we break them, we will be able to come around behind the enemy and do some hammer and anvil strikes. And, you know, this looks like it's going to be the beginning of the end for the English. So, my ally is still running down his archers, and my crossbows are wavering for some reason. Which, oh, it's because they're getting fired on by the yeoman archers and the archer sergeants. So, and look at this unit. This unit of foot knightly retinue is still holding out. I believe it's the same one, but they are holding out. And you know, I think I was mistaken in this. No, I was correct. No units tier 2, tier 3, or greater than tier 2. I was thinking that tier 1 was higher than tier 2 for some reason. But here we go, Spear Sergeants taking on the Foot Knightly Retinue, and they are doing quite well against them, which Spear Sergeants are usually pretty bad. Unfortunately, the enemy, or the Earl, yes, sorry. The enemy general, the Earl of Norfolk, does get charge off into these sergeants, but I think they're going to be able to hold out. The Bill Sergeants over here are still holding as well, but my ally does have crossbowmen firing on and getting some shots, and that's going to turn out to be quite okay for us. Unfortunately, the Bill Sergeants on this side, on the right side of the main engagement, did win that engagement, but now my general comes in and gets a awesome hammer and anvil charge off, and it looks like this is going to be the end of the battle. Here we go, charge. Oh yes, my mounted knights, the knightly retinue, getting it done, charging into the back of that foot knightly retinue unit that just would not break. I have my mounted sergeants running down their archers, and the only units left holding out is this unit of foot knightly retinue and this unit of Bill Sergeants, but I did have my general in there, and that could have ended very badly if they had killed my general. It could have caused a chain rout, but I end up charging in my mounted sergeants, and excuse me, and eventually we do break this Bill Sergeant's unit, which is okay. I end up chasing down archers with my general. That's the least dangerous to him. And over here, that unit of foot knightly retinue that wouldn't break, they do break. They are shattered. That was the anchor that the English had left, and now that anchor is gone.